I want to talk about manifestation because I just came to the beach and I feel the need to talk about. Honestly, I feel like I manifested this. When I lived in Bangladesh, I made Akbar Canada Islam for like 2 months and I figured out how to torrent. So I torrented the series The OC, and it's about these rich kids that live in Orange County, Newport Beach, and this is actually Newport Beach. So I was like watching the show and I was like, one day I'm gonna live in this area. So I really had no idea where Orange County was. I didn't really know much about California or anything, but I was like, oh, one day like I would like to live there. Obviously, like I didn't think it was gonna happen. And then when I was in grade 10, I randomly decided maybe I should take Spanish in grade 10. I elected to take it because I was like, baby, what if I move to the United States and I actually moved to California? That would be crazy. When I did learn where it was. And I just took Spanish and in hopes that one day it might come in use. And so fast forward to when I'm 20, my mom meets my stepdad. And there's this actual possibility of me moving to California, which is like, it literally just landed in my arms, which was so weird and strange. Then I moved to California and I lived with my parents in basically like the desert area. It's like closer, it's farther away from the ocean, which is not what I wanted. I wanted to live by the ocean, like 10-15 minutes, so I could just drive here whenever I wanted. So I went online and I started looking for jobs. I didn't have a car. I didn't know how to drive. I was 25 years old. I had lived in Toronto my whole life where I was just using the subway system, so I never had to drive or anything. And I went on Indeed and I started looking for jobs in Orange County because I said one day if I move there, it's better that if I just have my job already over there so I don't have to commute. So my first job in California paid me $21 an hour, which is nothing, and I spent more than half of that just Ubering to Anaheim, which is in Orange County. And every day my Ubers were about $70. So if I made like in 8 hours, if I made $160, I'm spending like $70 on Ubers and then the rest on tax. It was terrible, but I somehow managed to save up about $2,000 in like, let's say it was like a year, and I bought myself a car that I didn't know how to drive. So one day my Uber driver was taking me to work and, whatever, I'm just talking to this Uber driver. And he said, I'll teach you. And he was a nice guy who I became friends with after. And he wasn't hitting on me or anything. So I was like, okay. And he taught me how to drive. He came, like, he picked me up from work, taught me how to drive, like, basically every day. And then I learned how to drive and I got my license. And then once I got my license, I was still driving back and forth, but I started looking for other jobs that are a little bit higher paying in Santa Ana because that is the cheapest neighborhood in the Orange County, and I just wanted to get my foot into the door of this county. And I ended up getting a job. I ended up finding an apartment that was in my budget, and I moved out by myself. So now I actually somehow accomplished my dreams of living in Orange County after, by the way, like I was so bad at school, guys. Like I can't explain to you, like I partied and I didn't study ever and my grades are shit. But somehow I made it to Orange County. I live here. And when I feel sad, I can actually just drive here and just be here. Just be in one of the prettiest places in the world. It's kind of crazy. I guess the way that I manifest things is I'm always one step ahead of my vision. So the moment I got here, I got a job in Orange County because that's where I wanted to go. I didn't even waste time in jobs near my parents' house because I didn't want to be there. And right now, my goal is to live in one of these beach houses, but not these small ones. There's another area pretty nearby called Corona Del Mar that have huge mansions on the sides of the cliff. So when I first came to California, the first time that I came here, I said, I'm going to live in one of those mansions. And I'm telling you guys, not that I have to live in one of those mansions because, if it happens, it happens. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But I will always strive to be where I want to be.